You've returned for more. Excellent. This is part 2 of the gauntlet, the final stretch. Test your memory, your instinct, and your resolve. Let the gauntlet begin. Question 51. Which instrument is said to summon warriors when its strings are struck? The correct answer is battle harp. The battle harp summons warriors with martial strains. Question 52. Which divine relic was said to strike with the force of destiny itself? The correct answer is Achilles' spear. The spear was forged by the smith god Hephaestus and gifted to Peleus before Achilles inherited it. Question 53. Which sword's name means stream of anguish? The correct answer is Angurvadal. Angurvadal's name reflects its feared reputation in battle. Question 54. Which relic was said to separate truth from falsehood in divine trials? The correct answer is Blade of Mart. The Blade of Mart embodied perfect discernment and balance. Question 55. Which relic is said to ignite with righteous fury against corruption? The correct answer is Blazing Katana. Legends describe its glow as the visible anger of guardian spirits. Question 56. Which weapon was taught to a young hero by a warrior woman across the sea? The correct answer is Gaebulg. The Gaebulg is a barbed spear taught to Cuchulainn by Scathach. Question 57. Which radiant relic was said to sing as it loosed its arrows? The correct answer is Bow of Apollo. Apollo's bow was said to be strung with rays of sunlight itself. Question 58. Which sword was used by Sigurd to slay the dragon Fafnir? The correct answer is Gram. Gram became legendary for killing the mighty Fafnir. Question 59. Which relic was held by the god of renewal to symbolize nourishment and rule? The correct answer is Flail of Osiris. The Flail of Osiris represented authority through care and cultivation. Question 60. Which relic was said to hum softly before evil drew near? The correct answer is Demon Slayer Blade. Monks believed it resonated when corrupted spirits approached. Question 61. Which defense is carved from sacred trees, absorbing blows in battle? The correct answer is Shield of Oak. Oak shields symbolize sacred strength in Celtic lore. Question 62. Which relic was carved from the heart of an ancient olive tree? The correct answer is Heracles' club. Heracles carved his club from the trunk of a sacred olive tree. Question 63. Which sword belonged to the god Heimdall? The correct answer is Hofund. Hofund was wielded by Heimdall, the guardian of the Bifrost. Question 64. Which relic was used symbolically to separate the pure from the impure? correct answer is Knife of Sacrifice. The Knife of Sacrifice represented cleansing through divine offering. Question 65. Which artifact was believed to pierce illusions as well as spirits? The correct answer is Ghost-Slaying Spear. The Ghost-Slaying Spear was blessed to banish false visions and restless souls alike. Question 66. Which bow calls thunder when its string is loosed? The correct answer is Stormbow. The Stormbow discharges arrows as bolts of lightning. Question 67. Which legendary symbol warned rulers of the peril behind power? The correct answer is Sword of Damocles, the sword hung by a single horsehair above a ruler's throne. Question 68. Which weapon is the hammer of Thor? The correct answer is Mjolnir. Mjolnir is the thunder god Thor's iconic weapon. Question 69. Which relic was said to part the veil between the worlds of living and dead? The correct answer is Scythe of Anubis. The Scythe of Anubis represented transition and safe passage for the soul. Question 70. Which relic was discovered inside the body of a defeated monster? The correct answer is Kusanagi. It was found within the slain eight-headed serpent, Yamata no Orochi. Question 71. Which bludgeon shakes the ground when it strikes? The correct answer is Thunder Club. The Thunder Club quakes the ground with each strike. Question 72. Which divine relic was said to ignite love at the touch of its point? The correct answer is Arrow of Eros. The Arrow of Eros was believed to cause instant affection or desire in those it struck. Question 73. Which weapon is wielded by the fire giant who leads Muspelheim at Ragnarok? The correct answer is Sword of Surtr. Surtr's flaming sword leads the fire giants into battle at the end of the world. Question 74. Which relic was said to harvest sorrow and turn it into healing light? The correct answer is Sickle of Isis. The Sickle of Isis embodied transformation through compassion. Question 75. Which relic was wielded by a storm god to free a maiden from peril? The correct answer is Demon Slayer Blade. Susanoo used it to slay the eight-headed serpent Yamata no Orochi. Question 76. Which object was given to a voyager to keep contrary breezes tied fast until needed? The correct answer is Bag of Winds. A magical bag holds captive winds to aid navigation in Celtic sea voyage tales. Question 77. Which stormborn panoply lets thunder roll across its plates without harm? The correct answer is Armor of Raijin. Artists often paint a drum ring motif on this armor to echo peals of thunder. Question 78. Which collection of spells was placed with the deceased to aid safe passage? The correct answer is Book of the Dead. The Book of the Dead is a set of funerary texts guiding the soul through the afterlife. Question 79. Which necklace belonged to the goddess Freya? The correct answer is Brisingamen. Brisingamen was Freya's most treasured possession, symbolizing beauty and power. Question 80. What hunting weapon is famed for unfailing aim in moonlit forests? The correct answer is Bow of Artemis. The Bow of Artemis never missed its quarry in myth. Question 81. Which garment hides the wearer from ordinary sight when its hood is drawn? The correct answer is Cloak of Invisibility. An enchanted cloak renders its wearer unseen to mortal eyes. Question 82. Which prop turned a solemn crowd into laughter until a hidden door opened? The correct answer is Fan of Uzume. Festival dances reenact this comic routine to invite good fortune. Question 83. Which records were said to be written on leaves of a sacred tree of years? The correct answer is Ished tree scrolls. Thoth inscribed royal names and spans on the Ished Persea tree. Question 84. Which fruits grant the gods eternal youth in Norse myth? The correct answer is golden apples. The golden apples of Eden keep the gods young forever. Question 85. What winged footwear let a messenger god skim seas and skies? The correct answer is Hermes' sandals. Hermes' sandals, Talaria, granted swift flight. Question 86. Which polished surface shows not the face the wearer hopes for, but what is actually within? The correct answer is Mirror of Truth. A truth-showing mirror reveals character rather than mere appearance. Question 87. Which gem can command the sea to swell or fall when lifted or lowered? The correct answer is Sacred Jewel. Tales speak of tide-ruling pearls held by a dragon of the deep. Question 88. Which servants by proxy were buried to perform labor in the next world? The correct answer is Shabti figurines. Shabti, Ushabti figures answered work summons for their owner. Question 89. Which birds serve as Odin's eyes and ears across the realms? The correct answer is ravens of Odin. Hugin and Munin bring Odin knowledge from all the worlds. Question 90. What reflective tool let a hero face a Gorgon without meeting her gaze? The correct answer is Perseus's shield. Perseus's shield, a gift of Athena, allowed indirect sight. Question 91. Which blade is said to compel victory once drawn from its scabbard? The correct answer is Sword of Nuada. Nuada's sword guarantees victory when drawn, according to myth. Question 92. Which 8-span reflector symbolizes wisdom within a sovereign's set? The correct answer is Yata no Kagami. Its name points to greatness in breadth rather than length. Question 93. Which relic was said to channel the strength of Falcon Kings in battle? The correct answer is Axe of Horus. The Axe of Horus symbolized divine retribution and skyborn authority. Question 94. Which relic was said to thirst for endless conflict? The correct answer is Ares' spear. The spear of Ares was said to pulse with the heartbeat of war itself. Question 95. Which artifact was said to hunger for the strength of its wielder? The correct answer is Cursed Blade of Yami. The Cursed Blade of Yami was believed to drain vitality with each strike. Question 96. Which spear belonged to Odin, the All-Father? The correct answer is Gungnir. Gungnir never missed its mark when thrown by Odin. Question 97. Which humble weapon felled a giant when aimed at a deadly eye? The correct answer is Sling of Lu. Lu's sling struck down Balor of the Evil Eye. Question 98. Which relic was said to pierce the darkness each dawn to awaken creation? The correct answer is Ra's Sun Spear. The Sun Spear of Ra symbolized the first light conquering the night serpent Apophis. Question 99. Which celestial weapon was hurled from Olympus to strike the wicked? The correct answer is Thunderbolt. Zeus's thunderbolts were forged by the Cyclops in volcanic fire. Incredible challenger, you've completed all 100 questions of the Gauntlet, 5 mythologies, 1 final score. Share it in the comments and let us know your favorite mythic moment.